Tytus Howard set to be traded by Houston Texans to Cleveland Browns for fifth-round pick. The NFL offseason kicked off with a notable offensive line shakeup as the Houston Texans agreed to trade veteran lineman Tytus Howard to the Cleveland Browns. The deal, set to become official when the new league year begins on March 11th, sends Howard to Cleveland in exchange for a fifth-round draft pick. Howard, who turns 30 in May, has agreed to a 3-year, $63 million extension with Cleveland upon the completion of the trade. This deal keeps him under contract through the 2029 season and provides immediate stability at a key position. Tytus Howard's form. Tytus Howard has been a reliable starter for Houston Texans since being drafted in the first round in 2019. He played right tackle early in his career before shifting to left guard last season, providing solid protection on the line. Howard has started 93 games over 7 seasons, including all 16 in each of the last 2 years. His consistency and versatility make him a valuable addition as the Cleveland Browns look to rebuild their struggling offensive front. Houston Texans clear cap space. Tytus Howard, entering the final year of his contract, was slated to count nearly $28 million against Houston Texans' salary cap this season, including an $18 million base in salary and bonuses. By moving him, the Texans will gain flexibility to address other roster needs or extensions. The team had previously dismissed rumors about trading quarterback C.J. Stroud, signaling their commitment to building around him. Cleveland Browns bolster protection. For the Cleveland Browns, who face free agency with 6 offensive linemen, acquiring Howard marks a key step in rebuilding their front. The extension locks in the 29-year-old for 4 more seasons, offering stability at tackle. Cleveland's line has been a weak point, contributing to offensive inconsistencies. Adding a battle-tested tackle like Howard provides a foundation for new head coach Todd Monken's scheme. The extension, which includes $45 million in new money, reflects the Browns' commitment to securing reliable protection for their quarterback. This trade signals aggressive action from the Cleveland Browns as they aim to improve protection and open running lanes. Fans in Cleveland will watch closely to see if more moves follow in free agency and the NFL draft. Small blue diamond, the trade that shakes the trenches. On a brisk early March morning, football fans across the league stirred awake to a headline as unexpected as a Hail Mary in the closing seconds. Tytus Howard, a seasoned offensive lineman once considered one of the most versatile blockers in the league, was on the move. He wasn't being released. He wasn't retiring. He was traded from the Texans to the Browns for what many felt was a relatively modest prize, a fifth-round draft pick. To the casual fan, a fifth-rounder might sound like pocket change, a midweek transaction item rather than a marquee headline. But in the NFL, where every pick and every roster move ripples through the league like a quarterback's throwing motion, this trade was more than a line in the transaction log. It was a story of evolution, strategy, value, and the fine balance between heart and logic in a league driven by both statistics and soul. Small blue diamond from Monroeville to the league. Born in Monroeville, Alabama, Howard's journey to the NFL was already one of grit and determination. After standing out at Alabama State, a football powerhouse in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, he entered the 2019 NFL Draft. There, the Texans selected him in the first round with the 23rd overall pick, marking the first time an Alabama State player was taken in round 1. In Houston, he quickly became more than just another lineman. He became versatility incarnate. Howard's ability to slither from right guard to left guard to right tackle wasn't just a skill. It was a lifeline for offensive coordinators trying to mask weaknesses, plug holes, and give their franchise quarterback one more precious second to throw, escape, or save a seemingly broken play. For a team wrestling with offensive line instability, that was gold. Yet, even as he anchored the line, rarely allowing sacks and quietly earning respect from comrades and critics alike, this trade, and the relative return it brought, makes you wonder about the invisible calculations NFL front offices must juggle: cap space, long-term strategy, future flexibility, draft capital, and the unpredictable human element of contracts and performance curves. Small blue diamond, the economics of leaving. Behind the scenes, this was more than a simple roster swap. News sources reported that a key motivator for Houston was financial. Howard was entering the final year of his deal with a significant cap hit, and the franchise wasn't willing to extend or restructure the contract to the level that another organization was. In Cleveland, he signed a new 3-year contract worth approximately $63 million. This underlines a harsh truth of professional sports. Loyalty and legacy have to rub shoulders with spreadsheets. For every roaring ovation Howard received after a gutsy performance, there was a front office calculating how his contract would fit into a broader assembly. Will this move help improve the line? Will it allow the team to chase a running back? Will the draft pick become something bigger? In Houston's calculus, it appears the answer leaned toward restructuring for the future rather than maintaining the present. Small blue diamond, Cleveland's gamble. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, the narrative shifts. The Browns have looked, like many teams, for offensive line stability to anchor their own offensive ambitions. Adding Howard wasn't just a transaction, it was an investment in reliability. His extended contract and starting role suggest that the Browns see him as a foundational piece, someone who could protect their quarterback, steady the line, and bring experience to a unit that has struggled with consistency. In a league where elite offensive lines are the unsung architects of playoff runs, this trade could prove decisive down the line. Maybe Cleveland sees in Howard a block that finally solidifies their right tackle spot, a position that often makes the difference in late-season shootouts and tempestuous playoff weather. Maybe this is the move that lets the offense breathe, creating space for big plays or crucial third-down conversions. Whether it works or not won't be clear until the Thursday night lights shine and the crowds roar, over and over again. Small blue diamond, the voices of the fans. It's impossible to talk about a trade like this without acknowledging the emotional response from fans, especially those in Houston. Social chatter ranged from bewilderment to frustration. Many Texans faithful scratched their heads at the idea of sending one of their most dependable linemen away for a draft pick in round 5, a compensation level some felt didn't match Howard's contributions. Others saw it as a logical, if unfortunate, business decision, a way to reset financially and chase other free agents. On the Cleveland side, the reactions were cautiously optimistic. Browns fans welcomed Howard as a player who could immediately contribute, a starting caliber tackle at a position sometimes overlooked on draft days, but one that becomes painfully apparent when missing. Small blue diamond, the future looms large. What does this trade mean for the future of both franchises? For the Texans, this might signal a broader philosophy: embrace